So I'm Melanie, and I started to use the electromagnetic energy about, I think it's been about 3 months.
So that's real. These people that say they can tap in to the Akashic field, talk about the future, the past, that's real?
Some of that is real, and as usual, there are a lot of frauds everywhere who pretend that they can do it. But now these days there are ways of testing it. So Dr. Dean Radin and many others have done experiments that they can validate that these potentials are real. Okay, that there are authentic psychics, authentic healers, authentic people with extrasensory perception, and that the accuracy of this is beyond anything you could expect. So you have to believe that it actually exists. And in all fairness, I access the field myself, so I know that it's real. You say, what's the scientific proof? Well, scientific proof is out there, whereas what we're talking about is really a subjective experience. But now, there are many studies going on in places like the Institute of the Institute of Noetic Sciences, which was founded by Edgar Mitchell, the astronaut who went to the moon, and he had a transcendent experience when he was coming back. And he saw infinity in all directions, and he was convinced that there's a deeper intelligence in the heart of creation. And he founded this institute precisely to study dormant potentials. If you look at the yogic literature of India, um, that there are techniques to awaken these dormant potentials. There's a full chapter on these techniques in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. We teach these techniques to our students here, and many of them are able to awaken these dormant potentials.
I remember working a 9 to 5 job every single day. You ever worked at a place and you gave
This is the perfect segue to the Akashic field.
Okay.
Explain what that is.
Ancient wisdom traditions have said that there is a field beyond space and time from which everything emerges. It's the pre-created field from where the universe comes. The pre-created, which means before creation happens, but it's always there, it's eternal. Now, I've asked cosmologists what the latest theory of creation is. They say something like called eternal inflation, which means there are quantum fluctuations that will go on eternally. So universes will keep spinning out of this invisible domain forever into the future. But if you ask them, how about is eternal inflation possible backwards in time? And they say probably. So you can't say what is Genesis, because Genesis says there was a beginning. Now, religious people say Genesis happened biblically whenever, and astrophysicists say 13.8 billion years. And you think, oh, because they're scientists, they're probably right. But how do you have a date when there was no time? Okay, how do you give a dateable event to something that happened when there was no time? So, don't get fooled just because brilliant scientists like Stephen Hawking and other people say there was a beginning. There was probably no beginning. Okay, it is eternal, beyond space time, infinite, giving rise to space and time. At least that's the view that I am proposing, and it's not mine, it's part of many wisdom traditions. The Akashic field is the field of possibilities from where not only this universe but possibly infinite universes emerge, and they're emerging, they're arising, they're subsiding, and this is a domain of
Okay, so I don't know who this dude is, but he's basically explaining almost what cosmology is saying now. Like he said, the infinite inflation or something. And I think Joe Rogan had somebody on his podcast, or I was listening to someone else talk about the different theories of the creation of our universe. And I honestly didn't know there was like so many different, theories out there about what is or was prior to the Big Bang that created our universe. And so there's like um, the bounce theory. There's the multiverse theory. There's the um, infinite expanse. And then there's something like something with bubbles or something. I swear, y'all, I can remember it like some kind of bubble theory. And then, of course, you have the artificial simulation. So, I mean, there's like several different schools of idea on, like, say, what exactly was prior to what we consider as space and time, or what we observe as our space time continuum. Like, what made that? And like I said, there's a lot of different things, but one of the more prominent hypothesis is a infinite expanse where basically it's a substrate that produces universes or cosmos, and it's just there. And it may produce millions and trillions of these things. It's like I said, that's why it's so fun to think about, because there is no real way to test for it. There is no real way to test for it. But I don't know. This is like who is this? Deepak Chopra? Deepak Chopra? And he's talking about some metaphysical, philosophical, uh, semi pseudo religious belief of this realm or this plane of existence, or whatever. But he says that ancient cultures have thought of creation this way before, and this idea is just recently coming back around. Let me go back a little bit. Matter of fact, how long is this clip? This clip is only 3 minutes, so let's hear this again. While I get some paint.
This is the perfect segue to the Akashic field.
Okay.
Explain what that is.
Ancient wisdom traditions have said that there is a field beyond space and time from which everything emerges. It's the pre-created field. from where the universe comes. The pre-created, which means before creation happens, but it's always there, it's eternal. Now, I've asked cosmologists what the latest theory of creation is. They say something like called eternal inflation, which means there are quantum fluctuations that will go on eternally. So universes will keep spinning out of this invisible domain forever into the future. But if you ask them, how about is eternal inflation possible backwards in time? And they say probably. So you can't say what is Genesis, because Genesis says there was a beginning. Now, religious people say Genesis happened biblically whenever. Astrophysicists say 13.8 billion years, and you think, oh, because they're scientists, they're probably right. But how do you have a date when there was no time? Okay, how do you give a dateable event to something that happened when there was no time? So, don't get fooled just because brilliant scientists like Stephen Hawking and other people say there was a beginning. There was probably no beginning. Okay, it is eternal, beyond space-time, infinite, giving rise to space and time. At least that's the view that I am proposing, and it's not mine. It's part of many wisdom traditions. The Akashic field is the field of possibilities from where not only this universe, but possibly infinite universes emerge, and they're emerging, they're arising, they're subsiding, and this is a domain of potential energy, information, space-time, and the world of material objects. We can access this through transcendence again. We can abide in it. We can have a connection to it. And it is my feeling that people who have intuition, insight, the so-called paranormal abilities, precognition, remembrance of other lifetimes, remote viewing, extrasensory perception, remote healing, these people have dormant, non-local potentials that exist in every human being.
What do you think about that? That everybody has dormant powers that they
The
don't.
results strongly support that these beings are not closely related to any
I
known.
love when you say these beings. Heard that commercial like 50,000 times already.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru. Sadhguru, one of the five elements, Panchabhuta, is Akasha, space. And in one of your YouTube videos, I've heard you, you say ether, you mention ether about space in Akasha. So once you, in your talk now, in time travel, you talk about space. So this ether and Akasha, I'm confused. Can you please elaborate on the ether part?
I'm glad you're confused. Because confusion is a much better state to be than stupid conclusions that one makes. Confusion means you're still looking. That's nice. That's my intent, to keep you confused. Yeah, because I want you to be seeking, always. Nobody said Akasha is space. We said Akash is ether. It's not an appropriate translation, but reasonably. Ether is not space. Ether is a certain dimension of existence, subtle. When we say space, we are talking about kala or non-existence. We are talking about Shiva, that which is not. When we say Akash, we are talking about that which is. Here you are. Here you are as a human being. There are many levels from grossness to subtleness here. If you have constipation, you still have something gross inside you. Above that, there is a little more refined aspects of body. Above that, there is a lung full of air. Above that, there's a brain and thought and emotion and so many things. And there is life going in and out. And there is akasha involved. There is water, there is physical material, there is air, there is temperature, there's fire, and there is akash which makes this. Don't try to understand that, just get this right. Because this is a mini cosmos. So if you perceive this right, you know that because today there is no question about this anymore. We've always been saying this in the yogic dimension. But today modern physics has come up with what is called as the constructional theory, which is talking about how the design factor in the universe, whether it's atomic or cosmic, is fundamentally same design. You as a human being with this kind of form, a grasshopper, an earthworm, a bird, a crawly creature somewhere, all of you have same fundamental design. From atomic to cosmic, the fundamental design is same. The complexity and sophistication of how this design evolves into multiple forms is different. Your design is far more complicated and sophisticated compared to that of an amoeba, but the fundamental design is still same. Only the complexity is increasing. So you don't go about trying to observe the cosmos because you don't have a gallery view of the cosmos. You cannot. There's no place where you can sit and observe cosmos. And in fact, you cannot observe anything except what happens within you. Even if you take a telescope and look at the star is happening only the way it projects in your mind, isn't it? Yes? You don't see any star. This is the reason why you see stars which don't actually exist. Many stars that you see don't exist, but they're projected in your mind in a certain way, and that's how you know it. Or in other words, you only can experience this, or this is the only doorway through which you can experience anything. Whether you want to experience the food that you eat, or the air that you breathe, or the people around you, or the world around you, or the cosmos, you can only experience it the way this is. If this is very clear, you will see it the way it is. If it has taken many forms and shapes, you will see it in so many different ways. These days, I think largely the mirrors have gotten flat, you know. Even now, I think if you buy some cheap mirror, you will look like this. But if you get certain types of concave mirrors, you can definitely reduce your weight in a day. You just go stand, you look like a dash-on. So, the mirrors give different impressions of who you are. Suppose you always looked at your face with a slightly distorted mirror. After some time, you will assume that's how you look. Yes or no? Yes or no? You think that's how you look. Because every day you looked at yourself and that's how you looked, and you think that's how you look. So even now, you think the world looks this way simply because that's how it's projected in your mind. If you evolve this mind to a more refined surface, that there's absolutely no any kind of wavering in it, it is perfectly plain mirror, then it will reflect everything the way it is, but upside down. You know, in the mirror, everything is like this. So now you must have the intelligence to correct this without distorting it. See, most people can't turn a dosa around properly. If they try to turn the dosa around, it'll become those kind of things. It takes certain skill to take something like this and turn it around without distorting it. So this is the problem with the mind. One thing is, already it is wavy or choppy, whichever way you kept your mind, but it is definitely wavy. You're seeing the world in the wavy mirror and it's looking certain way. And most people have never attempted to turn it around because they think that's how it is. When you want to turn it around, it takes a certain amount of skill to be able to turn it around without distorting.
Yo, my man D1,
So you
what
have
up?
two problems. One is to first flatten the mirror so that it is undistorted, and now a much bigger task of wanting to flip it around without any distortion. So that is… we've not approached that in your life yet. First to make the mirror absolutely without distortions. We still working on that one. Is this air very much a part of you as a life? Those who do not say anything, we're going to throttle you. Your life is spread all over here, isn't it? This is physical. Even in this physical, there are many levels of crudeness and subtlety, isn't it? The very gross elements in the body, there are subtler elements in this body. There is thought, there is emotion, there is air that you breathe. Or in other words, life is always from a hardcore crudeness to many subtleties. Depends how much you spread, that is how much subtlety you have in your life. How wide your wings spread, that much of subtlety is possible. So now what we are referring to as Akasha is a subtle dimension of life. If you suck out the Akasha, you cannot exist here. If we suck out the air from this hall, you cannot exist here. Though you cannot see it, still it is more vital than your hair, I'm sorry. Because there is more money spent on hair care on the planet. Definitely a lot more than the brain care. You see where our values are. If you pull out all your hair, you can still live. If I cut your ears, you can still live. If I cut your nose, you can still live. If I just suck out this air that you cannot even see, most of the time you're not even conscious whether it exists or not. If I suck out the air, you cannot live for a moment, isn't it? If we suck out the Akasha, you cannot live for a moment. There is a there's a temple in Karnataka, in southern India, which is called the Annapurneshwari temple. Anybody from Karnataka? You been to Annapurneshwari? So, at the rear part of the temple where most people may not go, because I am always poking into nooks and corners. Others are all happy looking at the goddess. There is an inscription in Hala Kannada, that means the old type of Kannada, which is over 3,000 years old.
Where you say that shit
There's
is
an
at?
inscription
Hagala,
talking about how to design an airplane in a temple. And they're saying, you can do like this, but if you fly these machines, it will disturb the ether in the planet. If it disturbs the Akasha, when they say Akasha, don't think space. When they're saying if you disturb the Akasha, then human beings will not know peace in their life. Once Akasha is disturbed, then psychological disturbances will become enormous. I think you're a living proof. I think there was an old movie by Manoj Kumar which said, sure, airplanes and the disturbance that it's causing, and he's glad his ears went away one day. Something like that, yes? So, if we suck out the Akasha, this physical body will not exist for a moment. So when we say Akasha, we are still talking about 5 elements. As you yourself, in the question you mentioned, among the 5 elements, Akash is one. So when we say elements, we are not talking about empty space. We are talking about one more substance, like earth, like water, like air, like fire. We are talking about one more aspect of five elements. So do not mistake Akash for empty space.
One of my friends put me up on this, so I decided to give it a listen. Pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting. The Akash realm, a record. Never heard of Akash. I've heard of Oshkosh. I wonder if Oshkosh got that from Akash and just trying to be slick with the pronunciation. Some people try to get over. I saw a sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw a sign. Life is demanding without understanding. I saw a sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Do 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 do. Yo, yeah, the Akash realm.
Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we're taking a look at a extremely high damage, high power build for the M4 in Call of Duty Warzone. Now I don't really see many people running with this setup because I think it is quite a difficult and challenging build to use. But once you get used to it, this thing can put out some extreme firepower. So this is how I've got mine set up. I've got the mono suppressor, the stock M16 barrel, PBX optic. I do have an optic on this build because I'm purposefully engaging people at longer ranges, commando foregrip, and this here, the ammunition, this is the important part, the 458 SOCOM 10 round mags. A lot of people just don't know that this is in the game, especially because with the M4...
Yo, I use the 10 round mags. Like you said, you gotta get used to that shit though, cause...
is reduce your magazine capacity to 10. You only get 10 rounds before you have to reload. However, it significantly increases
the damage. Yo. Bro, that shit put
the maximum damage of a 5.56 M4 bullet, like one of these bullets here, is 28. But if you put these in, the max damage you can do is 48. So in a 1v1, it's amazing. And also, if you're in a squad fight, just picking people off from a distance, it's devastating. So today, we're going to be playing solos and seeing if we can make this work.
Oh wow, he did that on solo?
Like and subscribe for more. Let's get into the game.
But like I say, man, like that 10 round clip, bro, you gotta hit. It only take 3 or 4 rounds, but you gotta hit. Cause them motherfuckers gonna spit rounds by the time, they gonna spit 8-9 rounds by the time you get off 4. First that pop, 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 pop. But I did have that set up on the gun though.
I have tried it in sports a bit. Oh, hi. That was rude. I love this green P90 though. Like the green and the blue one that you find in crates, pretty good. There's a couple of people fighting in here. In this little training camp area. See if I can third party this. Almost didn't see that, dude.
Damn, he makes me want to go play some fucking solos. Yo, I didn't eat lunch today at work, man. I got busy, got carried away. Now I'm hungry. But I still have, I cooked a whole chicken the other day. I still have some of that chicken left. I think I may just put like a pot of rice on, make like some yellow rice, or do I have some brown rice? I don't got no brown rice. No commercial. No FanDuel. You're not gonna get me to gamble my life away, FanDuel. I don't want to gamble. Stop showing me the gambling commercials,
I'm
bro.
gonna go all the way around the outside.
You're in a house. You don't have anything to do. FanDuel, send us your money.
There's a random suppressed shot there. Throw this decoy.
Motherfucker, we in a recession. Who got money to gamble right now? You ain't even getting the full experience of a casino. You just gambling online.
Just give him another angle to think about, you know. Also, I'm pretty sure that wasn't the guy with the claymore. I'm gonna get this build. Beautiful. Look at this. Here we go.
Yeah, pick that shit up. Let me see.
Well.
See how you do it, that shit, boy.
Sounded like a parachute there, didn't it? Usually makes the call out. Oh, I really had to switch up and go for the head there. But you see what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like
how quickly did I drop that guy?
Yeah, that was fast.
Pretty sure that I killed him before I had to. Oh, there's another guy here. Is it a gulagger? I know sometimes that can pick up gulaggers.
Yeah, this is getting ridiculous, yo. I play Call of Duty so much lately, I just watch other people play Call of Duty when I'm not playing Call of Duty.
Right on the left. You know what? I'm going to go up this tower here. See if I can get an angle on this chap in here. I mean, it could be a gulagger. I don't see where that could be.
It could be right there in your
right
butt.
There. No one up in the sky. I'm just going to jump in, whatever. I missed it. Give him the old dip, dodge and weave there. That dude was really sneaky though. Let's get this bounty.
Yeah, see, everybody has that heartbeat sensor equipped. I'm gonna definitely have to equip that shit.
On the tower. No. You just got ghost, but I don't suppose it matters when you've got a big yellow circle on your head. They've got to be here somewhere. C4. Keep you 100 out of the way if you're on a strike and finish you off. that was a really interesting play. Didn't really bother to try and shoot me, just dropped an airstrike and run away instead. It's a bold attempt. I have to admire the imagination there.
No.
Should I get this other bounty though?
Yeah, I thought you drop an airstrike when you're cornered, or if you know where somebody's going to loot a crate, not drop it and turn your back and run.
Plane wreckage out in the middle of nowhere.
What the hell?
Challenge accepted. I can't be bothered to run that. It's too far away to run, that is. Also, you know, in solos especially, when you're moving from A to B across ground like this, it's such a big advantage to have a vehicle.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't know if you noticed as well, but they've actually removed helicopters from solos temporarily.
I did not.
And that's because there was some horrible glitch where you could get a helicopter and go under the map and just stay there for the whole game. And that's, you know, it's cheating really, isn't it? It's exploiting the game. So they just temporarily disabled them, I suppose.
Yo, motherfuckers to figure out every little fucking thing. Like, who did that? Who figured out you can fly under the map in a chopper and just wait till the match is over and fucking win? Yo, I swear, yo. I hate fucking
tracking was off really bad.
Cheaters, hackers. Who got the time to do shit like that?
Behind that tree. Went to the right. Where have you gone? That That's it right there. Did you see how quick he went down?
No, I need to go back. Let me see.
He had an M4 as well.
That was fucking painting, bro.
Went to the right. Where have you gone? That's what I'm talking about. That's it right there.
Yeah, 3 rounds. Took him all the way down and out.
He went down?
Yes, yes. You see.
He had an M4 as well. Yeah, if there was another target, I'd have to think about moving, reloading, moving really quick. But
Exactly, that's the only thing, bro. You got 2
Don't
guys.
hit someone
One
else.
in the.
What are you
I say
doing?
in the solos, if you can pick out your shit early in the beginning and pick off dudes one by one, that's fine.
It's
But
not
if you got
just
like
that
2 or 3 guys, yo,
It's
you're not getting nowhere with a 10-round clip. But that's why he got the
Look at the damage there.
P90 as his backup if you need like them
Say
fast rounds real quick.
This is a dead end. Like he's specking me. I'm gonna give him the old thumbs up. Thank you for playing. Thank you for playing. I don't know, like he must have heard.
Are you ready to dominate the markets with one of the fastest trading platforms ever created?
Nope.
The Tastyworks Trading Challenge is here.
Tastyworks
We'll give you 2 market days
trading
and 5
challenge.
grand.
You'll be alright. We'll listen to that next time. Probably not.
Well, I've got 24 grams, so I'm gonna get the V set. 3 UAVs. 2. 3. There you go. Buy another one for later. This is a really good strat for solos because you just get the lay of the land. Like I feel like I should go and clear that northern area there because the circle is going to end up going, roughly in that area. Make a bit more cash here if I can. Man up ahead. I did mark that because I saw. Oh, hello. That's quite a few hits there. He's got a sniper there. I mean, come on. Come on. That's a lot of damage. Gulag. He's gone to the fire station. Yeah, I marked that hut there because there was a guy in there on the old VSAT.
Request recon flyover.
I think they've gone though. Yeah, they've gone. Might have been this dude, yeah. He went running back to the hut. Unless they're at the top. No, oh, he's looking at me. The sniper here I could try and take him out with. It's a bad miss. You know what? I don't like this sniper. I'm gonna go get my own. Give me that P90 back. What's that? Airstrike. No. There we go. I'm gonna go get my sniper.
How do you get your sniper? Oh, you gotta go buy a loadout crate?
I'm gonna get my HDR
A
instead.
loadout crate?
It's better than this one. Get an angle on this rock from over here. Lights out. Sleep tight, my friend. I feel like I should stick to my original plan here and clear this north area. So I reckon, I mean, not definitely going to happen, but the circle might end up here. 50-50 at this point. But I do remember a couple people up here on the VSAT. That's the out of bounds zone there. They're fighting behind me. Well, I think he was pretty low, but I dropped him quite fast. Now, I don't think the other guy that he was fighting actually died then. Like, he looked like he was still peeking over that rock there, didn't he? So I reckon there's still one more here. So I'm just going to wait. I'm going to have to go soon because the gas is pushing. Armor break. Look at this damage, man. You've got to move, come on. No one in the tower again. Break again, right. Snipe. I'm kind of glad that he didn't push up towards me then. I'm sure that everyone's left knows exactly where I am there now. Alright, I was wrong. The circle went inland, which means I'm in a terrible position right now. I do see you. The roof, of course, is one in the roof. Keep standing still. Can I get the wall bank? No. That house down there, though, I don't like that. That dude's gonna have revived by now. Not feeling that. I'm just wiggling here so people don't get an easy, hello, an easy shot on me. Contact! I think though, that because the gas is pushing it, I should be alright behind me now. But this is an awful position. There's only 3 left.
At University of Phoenix, we understand you can't change your work schedule or his practice schedule, but you can start your degree when you're ready. New courses start every 5 weeks. Get started at phoenix.edu.
You know, this young man just texted me right now. He took action with my program, which most people don't. He just made his first $1,000.
You know, one's in the yellow house in front of me. One up there. And there's one more unaccounted for. There's someone in here. Maybe that's him. So we've got one in yellow, one in red. One right there. I'm sure that's quicker than like an MP7 or something. There's the dude still in that house. The door. Oh, there's only one left. So it must have been that guy from the house. That's the ghosty boy from earlier. I would use my airstrike, but as you can see, it's bugged, so I'm just going to push up to the left. I think it's a better spot, maybe. They're probably just going to stay in that building up there. Oh, they're not running ghosts. Okay. There we go. Okay, right. M4. 10 round SOCOM mags. There it is. Pretty strong. Pretty strong in my opinion. You do have to play really careful though. And you've got to hit all your shots, because if you don't, you're stuck in a reload. Unless you've got a good secondary like I had at the start with the P90 there. But that was really strong. I feel like in squads though, you know, a Grau or M4 with 60 round mag would perform better, because you've just got so many shots and 3 people, potentially 9 armor plates to get through. You know, that M4 maybe isn't going to cut it there, but for chipping damage, yeah, if you're in a good spot. Solos though, if you play in that kind of fashion, can be really strong. Anyway, try it out for yourself. With that said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.
Think you know FanDuel? Well, what if we told you that we've got an ace up our sleeve? Introducing FanDuel Casino. Now you can play casino games like blackjack, roulette, and online slots for real cash right from your FanDuel Sportsbook app. So when we say there's more ways to win on FanDuel, you can take that to the bank. New casino players, play your first 24 hours risk-free on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Get up to $200 back.
I bet that there's something you didn't know about Call of Duty Warzone in this video. Today we're going to be taking a look at damage and wall penetration. And I was inspired to make this because of comments left on a video that I recently uploaded about a very high damage M4 build using the SOCOM rounds. And I saw a lot of comments from people saying, why didn't you put the FMJ perk on this as it adds more damage? This is a common misconception, however, with the FMJ perk, but when you load Gunsmith and look at how the stats on the weapon change,
Yeah,
you
Full
can
Metal
understand
Jacket
where
is
it
only
comes from.
against
See,
certain
on
things.
M4 here, when we add FMJ, the damage bar goes up, so naturally people assume that it increases the damage. According to the description and the pros and cons though, it says that the only thing this does is increase bullet penetration and damage against equipment and kill streaks.
Not
So there is
people.
a bit of a contradiction
Yeah, not
there,
players.
no clear answer.
I mean, it's clear. It's not a contradiction. It's clear as shit. Yeah, it gives more damage towards equipment. Why would you think you're gonna kill players faster? Not what the perk says. Like, that's really. Why don't you add this? Because that's not gonna do what I wanted to do, bro. That's for equipment. All right, Tim. We have a nice underpainting. And as soon as this is dry enough to work on some more, we'll start adding a second layer. But that was pretty quick. I did that in 2 days. Alright guys, like I said, I skipped on lunch today. I'm super hungry right now. I got to go eat something. We almost did an hour. Appreciate y'all chilling in the studio with me this afternoon. The after work quarantine streams, the COVID confessionals, you know what I'm saying, quarantine diaries. Hope y'all have a good evening. I'll get y'all next time. Peace.